Welcome to Tales of the Tips. My name is Mick the Caddy. I am filling in for the wonderful DA who has gone to his wonderful hometown somewhere up in Michigan. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. You can also get us where all your other magnificent podcasts are on Apple, Spotify, X, and of course the Odyssey app, which is one of the greatest apps of all time. So I'm filling in for DA today. He didn't think I'd be able to get through that opening, and of course I cruised through like I normally do. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if I'm going to do this show, Tales of the Tips, who can I bring on to sit with me and talk through next week's Scottish Open, the John Deere Classic that was just on. We got not the British Open, the Open Championship coming up. Who would I bring on but the one and only, the man that never invites me to anything, his wife does, Mr. Chris Fortney. The man I've spoken about many, many times of having no etiquette on the golf course, which he doesn't. We'll discuss that later. But Chris Fortney has decided to join me from his cushy office job. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Mick.
It's lovely to be here, isn't it? What's it like to be behind the microphone? What's it like to be behind the microphone for the first time? Do you think by just sitting here, you think you've got this could be my next career move?
I don't know. I mean, I think I upgraded the person sitting in this seat. Yeah.
That wouldn't be hard because I've upgraded the person sitting in this seat, even though we're not on Twitch this week. Sorry, we're not on Twitch live because only DA has the ability to put us on live Twitch, which is probably good because we were cussing him out before we started about being in Michigan. All right, let's get some background on the great Chris Fortney. He used to be a golf teaching professional, which we'll get onto later. He works at a company called
GT Golf Supplies.
And what does GT Golf Supplies do for this wonderful? You do statewide, don't you?
We do.
Okay, statewide. What do we do? What do we do statewide that it reflects on golf and all we do?
We are a nationwide distribution leader in the golf space. That comes with quick turnaround. We're customer service driven. We're basically the one-stop shop in golf, covering grips, towels, golf accessories, tournament items, pro shop supplies, and golf course supplies as well.
So basically every golf course that you work with, you're basically supplying scorecards, is that one?
Scorecards, pencils, tees, towels, divot tools, ball markers.
Well, you wouldn't use a divot tool because you don't hit greens.
Some of us do.
I'll tell you who does need a divot tool is DA.
No?
He definitely needs a divot tool because he likes to walk around and fix everybody's divots. Like if you play around a golf with DA will be the man that basically, instead of lining up his putt for like money, he'll be walking around the golf course like basically fixing every divot there is. So if you've got a spare like one or two, because you probably go through a few, that would be very, very helpful. Okay. So you work just Georgia-wide, is that true?
Georgia and Alabama.
Okay. Now is this a nationwide company? You guys
yes.
are nationwide. So
yes, we have 4 different warehouses. We have one in South Carolina, Dallas, Vista, California, and up in Oregon.
Okay. So basically, like if we're like just say Slim and I want to, Slim's back there. Hey, Slim. He doesn't say much, as you know. If we're organising a golf tournament, you're the company that we call GT Golf Solutions and say, hey, listen, we are going to have this tournament. We want to put on a great tournament. We need water bottles. We need tees. We need golf ball markers, towels, anything. You guys supply all of that to the market. Mm-hmm. See, now how come I've never got any of this free stuff?
You have.
What have I got? What did you ever give me?
You've gotten divot tools for me.
No, I haven't.
Tees.
No, I don't, because I'm very superstitious with tees. I've had this discussion already.
I know. I've tried to give you tees, though.
I have not. I only use white tees. So that's my number one and only Well, I have another superstition in golf, but I've mentioned that. Ball. No, I don't do up my shoelaces until I get into the clubhouse. On my golf shoes, which is weird anyway. But anyway,
never noticed that.
It is weird at what it is. So how do we get hold of Chris Fortney if we're going to go through this GT Golf Solutions? Did I get it right?
Golf supplies.
Golf supplies.
You're close.
Oh, damn.
You're close.
I haven't even practiced this.
I know.
So I didn't practice because we went and had lunch together to calm your nerves. You only had one beer, so that was good. So I'm sorry your wife doesn't get to watch, or your friend, whatever you call her these days. Did you like that, Slim? I threw that one in there. He did. Thumbs up.
Thanks, son.
That's a good story. So how do we get hold of you? So if we want to market our stuff now, can you brand it with your own? Like you brand it with your.
You can get it logoed on. However, if you have a company logo, you can do that. A club logo. You can. We have certain people that will come to us. It's like, hey, I want to sponsor something, and use their logo instead of buying a team.
Okay.
They can logo it with whatever they want to, and then we can get it out to them. Like I said, quick turnarounds is what we.
Is that like your number one business? Is like golf? Is that like tournaments or stuff, or is it just pro shops where you go in and go, hey?
We have a bunch of both. We do a lot of tournament ideas and tournament gifts throughout the year for different clubs. So we're on base with both of them.
Okay, so now my next question is, because you were a teaching pro for 10 years, what made you switch from teaching hacks like me and DA, I'll throw him in there too because he's a hack, to get away from giving lessons to us hacks to going into that sort of marketing and sales field?
I just like being out and talking to a lot of people. And so I get to go to a bunch of different golf courses. I have 320 accounts. And I just get to different courses, different people, and try to help them, all the pros make money and save them money, help them make money in their revenue stream, and just be out there.
I like saving money. But you don't give lessons anymore?
No. I think I retired when I took you on the range.
Well, if we really want to go there, and we probably will, because Chris has never beaten me playing golf, by the way. Not bad for a former teaching pro, who has a short game that can only be described as...
perfection.
If you're really going to describe your short game, what would you describe it as?
Depends.
How far off the green would you putt?
It depends.
Just give me a scenario. Say the last time you played.
I don't recall that round.
So if my good buddy Greg Elliott would be telling the truth, was it like a 60-yard putt, maybe?
It was 58.
58-yard putt.
It was.
So he's lost a little bit of confidence in his short game. Let's just put it that way, which does happen. I've seen it happen on tour. I've seen it happen to many players. There were some guys, I remember Vijay Singh at one stage went cross-handed when he was chipping. Chris Couch went, former PGA Tour winner actually in New Orleans. He went cross-handed for a while as well. And then we were down at Guston's bar. Not drinking. This is day 50, by the way. For those people who are interested, this is day 50 of non-drinking. And for the next 50, I'm also giving up Diet Coke. So I will be one grumpy, miserable human being next week when you see me.
Lord help us all.
Yes, Lord help you all, because Diet Coke's going to be a hard one for me. Diet Coke's probably harder for me to give up than... No, it's not. That's a stupid thing to say. Let's not go there. So I just got off the phone with Kevin Stadler, and I was talking to Kevin and about whether he was playing this week in the opposite field event, which he didn't get into. He's the 11th alternate or something, which is kind of crazy for a guy that's won twice on PGA Tour. And I asked him about his putting and whether he was still putting with his broomstick, and he went, no, he's actually putting left-handed now with a short putter. And he actually grew up golf playing left-handed, which he says it doesn't feel that awkward to him. But there's so many different things that people try when they're having the yips or they're not chipping well and stuff like that. And there's been guys who have tried to chip it one-handed, and some guys chip great one-handed. Chris is not one of them, but he does drive the ball exceptionally well. He's a very, very good driver of the golf ball. If he drove it and I chipped it, we'd be a good combination as teammates, but we're not teammates together because I'm teammates with Greg Elliott. All right, so now we know he's got expertise in golf and he works for a great company that can certainly help you out. So please, if you want to reach out to Chris, please leave a comment. And we can get you in touch, and he will make things work for you for your golf outing, your pro shop, and whichever you need to do, whichever way you want to go. But we're here to talk golf as well, and so I'm going to get his expertise comments on this week's John Deere Classic that was held there in Silvis, Illinois, Moline, whatever you want to call the dump. Place, wonderful place that it is, great place, home of Tony Navarro. Probably should build him a statue. Thoughts on what you saw on the course, the playoff, the problems with Mr. Grillo on the regular 18th hole where he hit his ball into the rough and a marshal decided to pick his ball up.
Thought he had a souvenir.
I guess that's thought he was going to get a souvenir. You commented to me about the looks of the golf course. Explain to me what you thought about.
The thing that got me was the greens. Spots on the greens. Dark, brown, just looked like they were dead.
They did. There were certain spots there, and they look like they very good. Yeah, move that closer. That's good. Sound deep voice like me. They did. They looked like they had dry spots in them. The course itself looked in great shape. They've narrowed the fairways. I know they've narrowed the fairways, and they've redone some of the bunkers there, make them more user friendly, I guess. But the greens did look spotty.
That was the only thing I took away from that golf course.
The greens did look spotty, but a good win. I mean, a second win for, what was his name? Come on, you know this. Come on.
Campbell.
Very good.
See?
What was that his name? Hang on. Look, I have notes now. DA will be proud of me that I got notes that Brian Campbell won on the first playoff hole. But so, yeah, I do have notes now. And, yeah, beat Emilio Grillo, who hadn't won for a few years. But he's a good kid.
I thought he was going to pull it out.
Good player. He's playing this week in the opposite field event to the Scottish Open. John Deere Classic, again, didn't attract a lot of publicity and stuff like that. And it's hard to do. You know, it's one of those, I'm not going to say smaller events because everybody wants to win on the PGA Tour. And, I'd never classify it's a non-PGA Tour event because the best players weren't there. You still have to turn up and win. And he did that. And, he's won before. So, all congratulations to him for winning his second tour event.
You think everybody's already across the pond getting ready?
Yeah, they're definitely across the pond now.
Yeah.
They're across the pond getting ready for the best players, obviously, are ready for the Scottish Open this week. Right. Thoughts on the Scottish Open? And do you like links golf? There you go. This is a good question because I love links golf. I think links golf is amazing. Very, very different to what we have over here.
I love it. I love to. I mean, it's a different look just altogether.
It's a different look. It's a different feel. It's a different vibe. Certainly being there.
You got to bring a different game.
You do have to bring a different game. Well, and that's 100% truth. And that's what we'll touch base on. The players who can play in the wind, know how to shape the ball both ways with the wind because we've all seen highlights of the British Open? Or do you call it the British Open? Or do you call it the Open Championship? We've had this debate.
I call it the Open.
Do you, Dust? I called it the British Open today accidentally, and you picked me up on it. You shot me down.
I did, but it's
what you do, yeah, or it's what I do. The Open Championship. Okay, Scottish Open this week. Who's going to win? I'm going to give you a chance on. In front of all our thousands and thousands of people who have looked on shorts and videos and things like that. You're sitting in my seat. Now, I haven't got one right this year. I was very close to Chris Kirk. If DA was here, he'd still be spruiking how he picked Rory to win the Masters. I mean, he went out on a limb there picking Rory. I mean, really. I mean, the guy's not that good. Number 2 in the world. I mean, he went out on a limb to pick that really, really hard-nosed, important pick of Rory. I picked somebody different that obviously didn't win, but DA's reminding me. So here's your chance. Let's go to, we'll start with the Scottish Open.
I know you'll be shocked.
This is going to be DA pick for sure.
I'm going Scotty. Scheffler.
Not Scott Hend from Australia?
No.
Scotty Scheffler.
I'm going Scheffler.
I mean, that's going out on a limb there, Slim. He's going
Not
out.
going very
you
far,
picked
but
the
it's
number
right there.
one player in the world to win the Scottish Open. So
I think he's.
That means my next question: is he going back to back? Is he going to win the Scottish and then turn it around and win the Open Championship, 2 titles in 2 weeks? Is that going to happen?
I don't think so.
All right, so we're going to stay with the Scottish, and I'm going to go to my notes here that DA will be proud of if he could have worked Twitch. He would have seen me. Rob McIntyre, Scottish man, left-hander, won it last year.
That's your pick.
Good. No, he's not my pick. Colin Morikawa is my pick.
Okay. That'd be good.
I think Colin has a huge chance. I mean, number 5 in the world, I think, these days. And, yeah, I think he's a huge chance. And I'm going to be very intrigued. This is a great build-up to the Open Championship. You get a good week under your belt, knowing links courses, getting the weather, getting acclimatised over there and stuff like that, eating the good food in Scotland, haggis. Please.
Healthy.
If you've ever tried haggis, don't. Sorry, Ian Coates, a real good Scottish friend of mine who I play golf with occasionally. No, don't do it. So next week, the British, so we've picked our 2 for this, the British Open / Open Championship.
Okay.
You're not going Scotty because you've already given, you're going to give him, he's going to win the Scottish and then he's going to drink a few tennants. He's going to be hungover, you think, and then try not to get arrested and then
maybe
move on to the Open Championship and not win there. Does he contend?
Yeah, he'll be top 10. I think he's going to
going out on a limb.
little bit. Yeah.
Going out on a limb, top 10. All right, so top 10.
I could be completely wrong, which is probably
who's
going to
winning?
happen. I was going to go with the local favorite of Rory, but I am not. I'm going to go with Shane Lowry.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Shane Lowry. What possessed you to think that Shane Lowry can win besides
Because I didn't want you to
knowing
give
he's
me-
going to be drinking out of the claret jug for a year?
I didn't want you
does.
to give me grief on picking.
You could pick a Scotty Shield for back-to-back. That would be it would be a very courageous pick.
No.
Going back-to-back to try to win, that would be a very courageous pick. I wouldn't do it because I don't think Colin Morikawa is going to win the Open Championship either, but I think Tommy Fleetwood will.
Ooh.
If him and his caddy have sorted stuff out from Hartford. But like, I'm not going to bash him again. I've already bashed him again on that for those who watched that, and I apologise, but it wasn't very good caddying. But so I'm going to go with that, and I think that he can rebound because I think he's going to be hurting a little bit from the Hartford disaster that he had, and I think he's primed to do that over there. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. It's one of my favourite events to watch.
2 weeks.
Out of all the majors, obviously the Masters is my favourite. This is my second favourite. The PGA is probably third, and then that garbage tournament, the US Open, where they just trick things up a little bit. But we're not going to go down that path again because everyone knows my feelings on the course setup for the Open Championship, the US Open Championship. Obviously, going with the there is a PGA Tour event that runs simultaneously with the Open Championship. That is the ISCO Championship that's going to be held in Kentucky. Did you look at that field at all?
No.
I looked at that field and there's players there that's why I called Kevin Stadler this morning because I was like, hey, how come you're not in this field? And Stads is a great mate. He's a tremendous fella. And he's, like you said, he's 11th alternate. But there are players in that field that I would like, wow. There's 16 players in that field who do not have a world ranking. You could play.
Could be. I don't know. You going to carry the bag?
No. My knee's still too sore for that, I think. But actually, my knee is really sore from being in the pool yesterday, the one that your wife invited me to go to the pool yesterday. Jenny's a lovely lady. If you ever get a chance to meet Jenny, she's a wonderful lady. She invites me everywhere that Chris doesn't. The pool.
Did you need the text to see the proof that you've been invited?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
I don't believe that. So, but
We could cover that.
Well, no, actually, Jenny was the one who sent me the address of the pool. Fact?
That was Friday.
That was Friday. Yeah, I went to the
wasn't
pool
Sunday.
twice this week. So I've been to the lake and the pool twice. He's been great. Jenny's been fantastic, invited me. I think they just invite me because I don't drink anymore. So
We met our
probably
Mick
it.
quota for the month.
So anyway, let's get back to the ISCO Championship in, where are we?
Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. 16 players with no world ranking. Grillo is the highest world ranked player who just came second. I don't know whether he's going to be playing in that or not. I don't know whether his second place last week got him into the Scottish Open. I don't know, but if he is playing in Kentucky, he is the highest ranked player in the field at 92.
If he is there, do you think he bounced there and wins it? Or does he slip up and there's an unknown?
Well, he's got to be he's in good form. I would think that he'd be a chance to win it and then go play the British.
Okay.
Or the Open Championship as well. So, now speaking of the Open Championship, I did a little research, and yes, DA, I do research occasionally, unlike your good self, who does tons of research. I did a little bit of research. There are 11 players in this field, and I want you to pick one of them. This is you, and see how good you are as a former golf professional, teacher. There's a few old boys playing in the Open Championship next week. 11 of them that I classified as old boys. And I want you to pick which of these old boys is going to have the best finish. I know who I think. Who's going to have the best finish out of all of them, and we're going to go through their scores. Let's go, and we'll start with KJ Choi, the tank. Stuart Sink lives around the corner. He's a good friend of the show, been on the show. Stuart won me a lot of money one year when he won the Open Championship, and I have mentioned this before, when he won the Open Championship at 150 to 1, I may have had a few dollars on him when he beat Tom Watson, and I was the only person, I think, in the world, apart from Stuart's family, that was cheering for Stuart Sink because Tom Watson, he'd won enough, don't worry. Ernie Els, last won the Open Championship, 2012 Lytham St Anne's, when Adam Scott They got the wrong club off a certain world champion caddy, whose name I won't mention, but his initials start with. Not doing it. I won't throw him under the bus. Steve Williams. Ernie Els, Sergio Garcia, Padraig Harrington, who just won the US Senior Open. Zach Johnson. I'm going to throw him in the old contenders because he's just been plodding along as old. Justin Leonard, who's been doing more commentary than playing. Phil Mickelson, who's still counting money on the Live Tour. Louis Oosthuizen. And I threw him under the old boys. And I've got one little story about Louis. I was at the Players' Championship, and he was on the putting green, and we were just having a little conversation, and then this woman asked him for his autograph from the side, so he goes over and signs this autograph. This woman obviously had no clue who he was. And as he walked away, she turned to her friend and went, "Who's that old guy? I just got his autograph." And Louis at that stage was probably 35, and he wasn't really thrilled about being called an old guy at 35. So him and I still have a little joke about that. So Louis Oosthuizen is one. Henrik Stenson and Lee Westwood, who just qualified by finishing first in the qualifying over there in sunny old England. So you have to pick one of those boys to be the lowest old boy of the tournament. I'm sure Vegas bets on this. I'm taking Stuart Sink because he's still playing well and he's a friend of the show. But so KJ Choi, Stuart Sink, Ernie Els, Sergio Garcia, Padraig Harrington, Zach Johnson, Justin Leonard, Phil Mickelson, Louis Oosthuizen, Henrik Stenson, and Lee Westwood. Pick me one.
Zach Johnson.
Why Zach Johnson?
Well, I don't know. You want me to pick him? I met him when we were.
That's fine. If you can say you met him, that's good.
We met him when we were down St. Simon, and we'll just go with him.
He's a wonderful fella. He's a very, very good guy. But it's okay. You're going Zach. I'm going with Stuart Sink. So we'll have a gamble on this when I start drinking again. We'll probably do a shot of Jameson or something for those people who know that I drink.
You'll be done after one drink.
Who know that I drink Jameson. Yeah. The cameras might want to follow me around the day I start drinking again. That might not be a good day at Guston's.
Give Slim a
Look
camera.
at Slim. Slim's already laughing about it. You want to come to that one, Slim? You do? We could be watching an Alabama game somewhere. Because you are an Alabama fan, aren't you? Yep, see, look at that. That's the only time...
I'm not saying it.
Nah, so we'll bring it in because obviously we mentioned the word Michigan 20 times, when we're here all the time with DA, and he's actually gone to Michigan for a holiday. Maybe a court case, I don't know. Whatever he's done up in Michigan. But Chris, you're which fan are you? Well, talk me through your football team in college because we'll get off golf just for a second.
The University of Texas.
Okay.
That beat Michigan.
Oh, in what?
Football.
Oh, did they?
We did, and we actually went to Michigan and did it.
DA's going to be thrilled with that. Yeah, he's probably going to edit this out. Don't let him touch this one, Slim. Don't let him come anywhere near this podcast. He's not allowed to do anything to get near this. You are a big Texas fan, and you are also I'm
a Cowboys fan. You can say it.
There's zero chance me saying those words.
Say it.
No. There's zero chance me saying he's a Cowboys fan. No, he is a Cowboys fan.
It's a rough one.
They got nothing to cheer about, which is good.
No.
All right, now, so we've gone on to the football thing. You've let DA know that you beat his thing. I want to touch base with you as a former golf teacher.
Okay.
And talk to the people out there who struggle with their game and stuff like that. And I've always said that when I've watched amateurs play, and me included, but being a caddy as long as I was and being in pro-ams and things like that, the number one problem I saw was club selection and course management. A lot of these guys can get the ball around and do their things and stuff like that, but I used to get so annoyed when someone would pull a pitching wedge out from like 150 and go, dude, you can't hit this 150. Because you did once downwind,
on accident,
downhill, out of the rough, and you hit a pitching wedge 150 one time, that's how you all of a sudden now know that you're going to hit it 150, and it's just straight BS. So as a teacher, what was the biggest problem you saw with amateurs who can golf it a little bit but still have this, because to me it was course management and club selection.
That was course management is the main one. But they go in, they hit 2 or 3 balls and they think, great, I'm going to give it a little bit more. And then they hit that one kind of clean. It's like, ooh, let me try it again. And there's always that one extra step that they try to do instead of just staying within that swing. Find your tempo.
Fact.
Keep your head still.
Just the basic.
Right. You're 260 out, you're not going to get it there.
Yes, that's
kind of
that's
stuff.
always been my opinion as well.
Right.
If you're 260 out, hit it to a comfortable distance.
What's your number?
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been to the range together and stuff like that, and I've said to you on the range many times, it's like you look up and down the range, and 90% of the people are hitting driver. I go to the golf course, I maybe hit 2, maybe 3, and for the simple fact is because I'm trying to work on a distance, and I think this is what people don't understand is like know your distances with your clubs. Just don't say I've done it once and stuff like that. So did you ever have that conversation with people you were teaching, or was it more you were more about the swing and stuff like that?
I would do
or
more.
Or was it just different levels? Like if you're a 36 handicap, you're not really interested in that just yet. If you're a 4 handicap or 5 handicap trying to get lower, was that like a teaching thing for you as well?
Yeah, the lower it would be more of tempo, you know, because they knew, of course, on how to get do certain things and get around. So it would be more tempo for that. And the higher handicaps, it'd be like, oh, well, I was on, this hole and I was sitting here and I want to do this. And that's where you correct them. It's like, no, that's not what you need to do.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to hit a ball once, 200 yards, and that was lucky, cut it in half.
Did you ever have playing lessons? Did you ever, you went out and did that with them?
I'd take them out. We'd go around a little bit and drop a ball. Like I was here one time. It was like, let's see what you did.
Yeah.
And they would, hit an 8-iron from 190 because they caught the bottom groove one time. It's like, no, it doesn't work for you.
Yeah. So did you ever like coach them and say, hey, listen, this is what we need to do. Go and work on your numbers. This is what you need to do. Because I mean, I know how far I hit each club, and even it hasn't really changed much over the years because I've never been a long hitter of the golf ball.
Right.
I know how far I hit 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 irons. I know. I also know that I can hit a pitching wedge 120 yards. I can also hit an 85 if I have to. That's hard. Is that hard to teach, that sort of stuff?
For them to remember what they need to do and get in there to do it, because you can go tell somebody, hey, go out here and do this. And they hit it twice, and they're like, you know what, let me give it some more. They go back to that whole thing again. It's like, that's not what you need to work on.
Yep.
Find this club. If your pitching wedge is going to be 120, hit it 120 50 times, and then go get a 9-iron.
And then work on it from there, and work your way back, and work your way up. Yeah,
Yep.
It is great advice, and and as I said, I've been in a lot of pro-ams where I've watched guys and they've done that sort of thing, and I'm just like, it drives me nuts because like just guy's got 265 yards and he's got 3 wood and like there's water.
And he waits for the green to clear.
Yeah, there's water in front of the green. He's like, well, I can make it there. I'm like, well, yeah, because you did once, 14 years ago. So, and that's part of it. So, I mean, as a former teaching pro, please listen to what he says. Course management, know your yardages, work on it from there.
Don't swing out of your shoes.
Don't swing out of your shoes, and don't follow his short game.
It's not that bad.
It is that bad. Trust me, his short game is absolutely. Well, here comes Slim. Slim's come down to give us the hurry up
Demonstration.
Yeah, actually, I should get Slim to give us a demonstration. I actually told Slim today that I'm going to get him a set of clubs. He's going to come golfing with us. I'm going to get him a set of clubs. So I'm going to put him in the foursome. We'll get DA, Slim, and my man here, Chris Fortney, who can show us his short game in full flight. So give us one more beat down on your company, who they can contact and all that sort
GT
of
Golf
stuff.
Supplies. You can log on if you would like to look online. It's ggolf.com. Put a comment out there. I can get in contact with you. If you are listening across the U.S., in different states.
Worldwide. We go worldwide.
Leave a comment, leave an email, phone number. I can get in touch with you, and we can get somebody to reach out and get everything rolling for you.
Just don't get him to invite you on a boat, and everything will be fantastic. But he's a good mate of mine. He's helped me through a lot of stuff over the years and stuff like that. So as much as I give him grief, he's actually kind of all right. His wife's better though.
Want to say that again?
No, I'm not going to say that again. I'm definitely not going to say that again. If you want to leave a comment about having DA never come back, we can do that as well. If he wants to stay in Michigan, he can stay there and watch his football season. Look at Slim's laughing at me like he's going to love this episode, isn't he? I feel comfortable in this chair. Do I look Slim? Do I look good in this chair? Do I feel good? I look good in the captain's chair. He sent me. I don't know if he's texted me back. Here. No, he did. He did text me. I don't know how long we've been going, so I don't know whether I've been going too long or not long enough. But anyway, how long have we been going, Slim? Should we keep going? Let's keep going. I'm going to go talk more about the Open Championship.
Okay.
because I do love it, and I've had been very lucky to caddy in a couple of them. Lytham St Anne's was amazing. I showed you some highlights of Lytham St Anne's last night. A certain player back in 1974 who I think may have done something wrong. If you want to Google it, have a look. But it is a wonderful tournament, and it's one of my favourites to watch because of the absolute elements of the golf course.
Right.
And when the weather can come in and change, it can be beautiful and sunny. It can be amazing, and then
it can change in minutes.
It can change in minutes. Yeah, 100%. And then it can flip over. It can just be just wretched. And that's just where the draw comes into play, where you can be very favourable, you can get beautiful weather in the morning, and then in the afternoon it's blowing 30 pouring rain, and the best score is going to be 3-4 over. So, and that's just part of the game. That's just the rubber golf, and that's just the way it works.
My luck would be go out in the morning, wind's in your face all the time, hit number 10, and then it flips.
Yeah.
And I get it the same for the next
I don't
time.
think there's a golfer on the planet who doesn't think that every hole they play is into the wind. Because there is no doubt, because I've been the same. I've caddied in it when I've gone, all right, the next hole is going to be downwind, we're going to be good. And then you get there and you're like,
Again.
how's this into the wind again? And 18 holes later, I'm like, is every hole into the wind on this golf course? And I say that in probably 90% of golf courses that I walk off and go, man, that wind is hard. But there are certain courses on tour that I've caddied where the wind is incredibly tricky. Hilton Head is one of them. Tampa is one. Where the wind just swirls, and it's really, really, and you can be made to look pretty silly as a caddy if you're not 100% sure
Paying
of the wind.
attention.
Yeah. Obviously, the scariest wind is when you're standing on the tee at Sawgrass on the 17th, and you're trying everything. You're looking. There's a huge crane that has an American flag, and it's blowing this way, and then the grandstand behind you has the flags blowing this way, and you're looking at a 130-yard shot, and your caddy and your players looking at you like, well, which way's the wind blowing? You're like, okay. Be confident.
Looks like.
Yeah. But judging by that flag up there, you always put the flag in there so he can look at it and go, oh, yeah, you're 100% right, and your fingers crossed that you hit the right shot. But that's why I like the Open Championship because, I mean, it's fun to watch. Playing in the wind, I personally love playing golf in the wind. I like it when it's windy. I think it can help a lot if you can play golf into the wind.
Right.
And you can help you downwind and stuff like that. I like it when it blows hard right to left because my slice doesn't look as bad.
Go straight.
I don't know. It definitely doesn't go straight. It's still a fade. It's only a fade when the wind's when the wind's blowing right to left 40 miles an hour. It's only a fade. As you've seen, I don't like holes that go right to left.
Ooh. Who are your two top golfers that missed the cut?
Missed the cut. Good question. See, that's why we bring him along. To miss the cut. Let's see. Oh, he's thrown me for a loop there. I'm trying to think who was in the field that I think who's got a chance, who's going to miss the cut. Xander Schauffele, I think will miss the cut. That's my one. And then I will go with number two. You need a big name player? You think a big name player who's going to miss the cut?
I'm just,
a big name player.
Because you have those majors where it's like.
It's a good question.
Using like.
See, this is a better question than DA's ever given me. See, I don't get stumped when he asks me questions. You've stumped me. But I've given you one. The other one I will give you will be. Well, okay. Well, you give me time to think because I'm old.
Oh, I didn't think about my answers. I just thought about asking you.
Well, you need one too. You give me one. See, that way we can compete. I go Xander. And then if I was going to throw another one in there, I'll say John Rahm.
That's actually probably a pretty good one.
Okay, so now you have to hit me with it.
DJ.
Who?
Dustin Johnson.
He hasn't. I could beat him at the moment.
No, you can't.
I've always wanted to play golf like Dustin Johnson. Now I do. That's how bad he is right now. Please. He's just counting his money if he can.
Bad.
Dustin might have trouble getting past 10. He's a very good golfer, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. No offense. But that's why he's a good golfer. Sometimes you don't have to be very smart to be a good golfer because there's a lot of golfers on that tour who, if they weren't playing golf, would probably be flipping hamburgers for a living. Not suggesting he's one of them, but
do you count
he's one of them.
JTs and Spieths and those as going to miss? As
No. Well, Justin Thomas is number 5 in the world. Don't say anything bad about Justin Thomas. That's DA's boy.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I mean seriously, that's DA's boy. You'll get banned from this building. You'll get trespassed if you say anything bad about Justin Thomas. Seriously.
He's from the University of Alabama.
I See, now you got Slim excited. Look, Slim's up there cheering. Don't say anything bad about
No,
it.
I'm just curious. Like those players
Well,
who,
he's
who
number-
seem to
he's-
make a run, and then they have like this one tournament that just.
What, do you think Justin Thomas is going to miss the cut?
Do I think he will? No, I'd actually like to see him win. I know I didn't pick him, but
Don't say
I'd like
that.
to see him win
You
something.
just want to get back on the show. He's
No.
just saying that to kiss DA.
No, I'm just saying. I think it's.
Now I'm going to...
I have certain people I would like to see miss the cut.
Okay, like who? You're allowed to say it. We got
Mickelson.
no money. They can't sue me.
Phil Mickelson.
He's probably going to miss the cut. He's 50,
I'm
8
just
years
saying,
old or something.
Not a fan.
See, I like Phil. Phil's a good dude.
No.
I like Phil. Phil's been a good dude. All right, so Phil, you don't like. All right, Dustin Johnson, you're a big fan. So, but anyway, back to Justin Thomas. Is he going to make the cut or not?
I'll say he can make the cut. Yes.
Well, go out on a limb, pick the number 6 player in the world to make a cut. Go on out on a limb to pick Scotty Scheffler. What was the other one you
That's a
picked?
good one.
Who'd you pick to win the Open?
Shane.
Oh, Shane Lowry. Yeah, he's got no chance. He's got more chance of missing the cut than winning.
No.
He'll finish closer to the bottom than the top. Another shot at Jameson. Gambling.
No.
So have you had fun today?
I did. This has been a lot of fun.
How was the nerves when you first got here? Let's actually talk him through, because when we went and had lunch at Guston's, or you didn't eat because I think he was like before a big game he doesn't want to eat, make himself like throw up or something. I had my shrimp Caesar salad, which you do when you're a health maniac like me.
Now you're a health maniac?
Yeah, well, you see, I count my calories. Everything I eat, I count. It's horrific. MyFitnessPal is the app. I'm not throwing it out there, but that's what I use to count my calories.
I'm just glad I know you on the nicest day of the year.
What's
'Cause
that?
you will not be nice tomorrow.
Who, me? Mm-hmm. Oh, when I give up Diet Coke? No, I'll be fine tomorrow. It'll be like 3 days later when I'm struggling without giving up Diet Coke. But so the nerves were okay? Because when you sat in that chair the first time, you looked a little bit nervous, I'm going to say.
Good. It's good.
Your wife, friend, whatever you call her, she she said that there is a backstory to this, which I'm not telling, because he would probably kill me on the way home. Your wife said yesterday when we were at the pool, you were probably just a little nervous. But you've done very well.
it was good.
You've done very well. Slim's even shaking his head. You've done very well. So we're going to wrap it up from there. Hang on for a second, though. DA sent me something because he didn't think I could do the closing, and he...
He's probably right.
I can do the close. I did the opening, okay? Hang on, I've got to find his text messages down here somewhere. And by the way, if you're ever going to call DA or Chris Fortney here, well,
We're
Chris
not.
will pick up the phone. DA won't. Don't worry. But Chris will actually never pick up the phone when it's me. Never. Okay, so let's... Ooh, revised close.
Ooh.
Ooh. Do I have to sound like DA now? Do I have to? Slim? No. Thanks for teeing it up with us. If you were catching this on YouTube, make sure you give us a like and hit the subscribe button. Drop and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Chris would like to hear from you because it's business and we might get a kickback. You can find every episode on your favourite podcast place like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all available on the Odyssey app, which he put in capitals because the Odyssey app is the important one. Make sure you get on the Odyssey app. It's a great app. Get on it. Follow us, subscribe, enjoy. And you can also get on TikTok, and you can watch us on Twitch next week, not this week because we couldn't figure it out. That's enough of that. And thanks for joining us on Tales for the Tips. Thanks to the wonderful mate, Chris Fortney, great mate of mine, and Slim for doing his wonderful job as he normally does, and me for making it through 40 minutes without swearing, like DA said I wouldn't be able to do. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate you.